started.
No.
Can you turn around and make sure everybody around you knows who you are and you know who they are? Because we won't end up doing that during dinner. So, if anybody wants to introduce themselves, say who your child is.
Hi, Malcolm. Deb, if you want to send them back to us, feel free. Just throwing that out. Okay. All right. Wonderful. Okay, yeah. Fair. Although it's pretty warm in here. It is cold outside. Yeah.
They're actually not on this. They're not. Where are they? Oh, they're behind us. That's why.
Sorry, where's your second grade? Oh, okay, got it. What's your last name? Okay, nice to meet you. Yeah. Trying to get to know all the things. Exactly. And although I admire the precision of the pickup, it's not a chatting opportunity. It's just cruise up in your car.
Yeah. It's working well.
It is. It's funny. The bullhorn always makes me laugh. Malcolm and BZ. They're right there. Yeah.
Almost magic.
Indeed.
Did I miss anybody? I think I got everybody so far who's here.
They started last year. And they were
I'll make sure to have all the kids.
Yeah. We're fully in the
Every kid gets a sticker. Every individual kid. So you don't, you got one. But I know I saw Isaac was going to be there.
fair amount. But some of the kids went to CCKDS.
Oh, there's Isaac.
Well,
Let's go see if, I'm going to go see if Isaac wants to sit with us, okay? So you guys stay here, okay?
Is Malcolm keeps track of stuff?
yeah,
in general?
I'll say yeah. Why?
I couldn't remember the prize from last year, but he knew. He said, but not only he knew, he's like, and then that guy's there, and a bag. And the bag was supposed to be from a different year. So,
They both have good memories. Probably not. Yeah.
This? So I've been tracking their attendance and services. If they go to a certain number, it used to be 18, although I've been very liberal about that, they get a prize. And demonstrators for pre-bar and bar mitzvah, they actually have to go to that same number, for the bar mitzvah. So that year, with the bar mitzvah, the bar mitzvah, this is just a huge game, but the bar mitzvah.
Even I'm doing it.
And in your case, maybe
Who needs a kippah?
everybody else's bar bat mitzvah counts, though.
So one of the things that we're going to do during service is really
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder in here,
it's weird having this big.
although to be fair, I haven't been wearing one.
everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
Thank you so much for being here. If you are a visitor or just not a visitor but an adult that does not have first or second grade children, you may be wondering, why are there so many first and second grade children here? And the answer is because it is Share Shabbat for first and second grade. So we're going to do our regular service, but it's going to be significantly abbreviated tonight. That's just kind of how it is. So we're going to begin with a little bim bam just to get us in the mood. All right, and then we're gonna go a little faster than normal. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, cherry berry berry bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, hey Shabbat shalom, hey Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, hey Shabbat shalom, hey Shabbat 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 shalom. All right, we are going to almost immediately go to our first and second graders leading us in Lecha Dodi, which we're going to find on page 15. So, come on up. First and second graders, just come stand right around here. Not on the black box, but around it. In front of it, right just around, just behind it. Behind it's probably better. Behind it's probably better. Oops, sorry. All right, can we actually fill in beat? Let's why don't you come around here just behind them?
Take a second row.
So yeah, make a second row.
Take a second row. Find a window.
Because Grandma and Grandpa might be watching from, Kansas City, for instance. And, all right.
Malcolm, come in.
All right, here we go. Yeah, no, right there, good. Right there's good. Lecha, Dodi, Likrat, hold up one finger here, high. Shamor v'zachor v'yibor echad. Ishmi anu el ha'meyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad. L'shemo tiferet b'li la 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 echad Adonai Likrat rise and face the entrance, welcoming the Shabbat bride. Shabbat is dressed up beautiful like a bride. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam v'simcha u'v'tzola, tov emurei am segula, boi kala, boi kala. Lecha, lecha, Dodi, likrat, likrat, say to any mourners in our midst, may God comfort you with all the mourners of Zion and Jerusalem. We're going to stay standing because we're going to go right to the Baruch Hu on page 22. And they don't know all these songs, but I'm going to leave them up here anyway, okay? By the time they sit down and come back. all turn around. All the grown-ups can be seated. And we're going to say, page 23, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam ha'ma'ariv arabim. Page 24, we talk about God's love by giving us the Torah. Israel. All right, the Shema. We're on page 25 now. 1, 2, 3. Cover your eyes. Shema Yisrael. Louder. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha Bechol levavecha, ubechol nafshecha, ubechol meodecha, ve'hayu advarim ha'eleh, asher anochi metzavecha, hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta ba'am, v'shiftecha b'beitecha, uvlechtecha b'derech, Ubeshokmecha, ubekumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, ve'hayu l'tutafo beineinecha, uktakam al mezuzot beitecha, u'bisharecha. We're going to skip to page 32.
32.
Mi chamocha. And if you want to, they don't, I mean, we aren't working on all these things yet. The older kids know them. But this is one where they danced when they crossed the Red Sea. If you want to, you can. You don't have to. Way to go, Flora and Willa. Good. All right, nice dancing there. All right, now, page 33, Hashkivenu. We go to sleep. We hope we wake up to a nice day renewed. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Lishalom, V'hamidenu Malkeinu Lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Lishalom, V'hamidenu Malkeinu Lechaim. All right, this side of the room, we're going to start off in the round. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Lishalom. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Lishalom. V'hamidenu Malkeinu, Eloheinu Lishalom. All right, now we're going to stand for the covenant of Shabbat, the Shamru, and in kindergarten, first and second grade, we do it jumping style. The key is to try to jump to the rhythm of the guitar. Shamru, Ben Yisrael. All right, and you can go back toward your seats now. We remain standing though for Chatzah Speaks 35. Yitkara v'yitkara Shemei Rabbah Yamani Brachirutei v'amlit Malchutei Lecha Yehovu Yomecha U'Vayehu Beit Yisrael V'Agala U'Bizman Kariv Imeru Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Leolam Leon Me'amaya Yibarach Yibarach Vishtabach Vibarim Ram Dinase Vitadar Vitale Vitalal Shmei Kucha Lela Mikor B'chata B'shirata Tushbechata Nechemata Damiran Be'oma Bimeru Amen. We recite the Amidah now silently. It's pages 37 through 48. And when you're done with your prayer, you can sit down. Come on back up one more time. Come on back up. Come on back up. Say shalom. Guys, no, not back there. Come up here. Say shalom. bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace, bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say shalom, be All right, Yasher Koach, go back and sit down, and we're going to call up your incredible teachers, Eleanor and Deborah, who are going to show us what you've been doing in class. Or at least one of the things. One of the many things. Looks like.
Okay, everybody.
Oh, wow.
You want me to hold anything for you?
No, I think they're gonna hold. Okay, here. Who did this one? Who did the? That was ours, wasn't it? So everybody hold that one. And this is your group. Okay, hold it up so everybody can see. And here's Malcolm. Here's yours over here. And Daisy. Okay, and then I need somebody to hold this one up at the end. Okay.
Excellent.
You do it? Are we on?
We're on.
Okay, so we did what was going to be a mural of Abraham's story, and we talked about Abraham. So this group did a mural of Abraham and the 3 visitors under the palm tree. Isn't there a palm tree up there?
Yeah.
And this group, this group did Abraham and Sarah. What did Sarah do? She cooked for everybody. So this is everybody at dinner. And we have challah, and we have cupcakes, and we have ice cream and everything. So, and then this group did the 3rd mural, which is Sarah laughing and having a baby. And then talking about that we were going to be as many as the stars. Right? Thank you.
Yasher
Yasher
Koach.
All right, Eleanor.
Beautiful artist.
Beautifully done.
You know, cupcakes are also unusual in ancient Israel, but you know, yeah. Miracles, yes, yeah, miracles.
So while they're working on that, I just want to say a big, big thank you to their teachers, Deborah and Eleanor. Yasher Koach. You know, it's not that easy to spend time after school with your kids who are going to another activity after school, but they're just incredibly loving. Your kids are learning, and they're getting to know each other, and those are our 2 goals, right? We want them to come with a few skills, but also to make friends and form a community, and Eleanor and Deborah are really doing a wonderful job of that. All right.
We have one more picture coming, but
Come to the center.
Yeah, come on up, you come over so that we can all see you.
we have one more picture coming, but our class drew pictures of our family, and we learned the Hebrew vocabulary for all of our different family members. And we also learned about the promises that God made to Abraham. And one of those promises is about making his descendants as many as the stars in the sky. We talked about how we're all one big family because we're all those stars in the sky.
Beautiful. All right, Yasher Koach.
Yasher Koach, beautiful.
Okay, we may have yet another picture coming, so I'm gonna, we'll call you back. I have another quick story that's maybe even have 2, but the first one is for the grown-ups. On Friday nights, I've been doing a little TBA history. I pull out a letter or something from the files, and I talk about what it must have been like here in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Oh, before we get to that though, one more picture coming up. We're going to show Zachary's picture. Come front and center.
Hold it up, so
Hold
everybody.
it up. All right, that's his family. Mishpacha Shali. All right. So, and I will repeat this tomorrow too, but so I don't have a letter this week, but I have a story because I was at the Rabbinical Assembly Conference, Conservative Rabbis Conference this past week in St. Louis, Missouri. And I met a rabbi named Josh Kahan. I didn't know he existed. Well, because we had a Rabbi Kahan here from 1970 to 1972 or 3, roughly that period. He was the rabbi that followed Rabbi Harold Schulweis, who was very much an iconic rabbi here. And the synagogue, was very famous in the Bay Area, even nationwide, during the late 50s and 60s, the turbulent times. Rabbi Schulweis was very involved in social action projects. But what started to happen in the end of the 60s and the beginning of the 70s is the Jewish community left Oakland and Berkeley, and they moved out to the suburbs. The congregation was in significant decline, and poor Rabbi Kahan, the elder that is, Rabbi Leonard Kahan, came right out of rabbinical school to serve a congregation that was mad at the rabbi for leaving, that was in decline, that was known as, the great Rabbi Schulweis. And he failed miserably, as was bound to happen. He went on to leave to go to either Silver Spring or Potomac, Maryland, and have an incredibly successful career as a rabbi. He became one of the most prominent rabbis in the conservative movement in America. Anyway, Josh Kahan is his son, and he's also a rabbi. And he found me at the conference. I didn't know that Rabbi Leonard Kahan had a son that was a rabbi. He moved from Oakland when he was about 2 years old. Now he's a rabbi in the Bronx, Riverdale, the Bronx, New York. He asked me about the Schaefers. Now, he knew what had happened to them, but Sid and Ethel Schaefer were an amazing couple here. Sid was they both were really among the most prominent, important volunteers that we had here. Sid did everything. He was past president, to find his picture on the wall. And he was a great storyteller. What happened was, Sid was also great at keeping in touch with all the former rabbis of Temple Beth Abraham. And 3-4 times a year, he would send a cassette tape to Rabbi Kahan, telling him about all the doings that were going on in Temple Beth Abraham. And you also have to understand, for those who know him, Sid had a beautiful, mellifluous speaking voice. I mean, just incredible. And anyway, Rabbi Josh Kahan grew up every few months listening to Sid Schaefer from Temple Beth Abraham describe the doings of Oakland and the Schaefers and Temple Beth Abraham. So just a great story, a piece of our history, and just saying cassette tape feels kind of good. All right. Anyway, that's the story. One more quick story, which is mostly for the kids. I want you to stand up. You don't have to come up here, but just stand up. And I want you to run in place as fast as you can. Run, fast. All right, you can stop. In this week's Torah portion, there is a Jewish value called zrizut, which means to hurry up and do the mitzvah. Abraham and Sarah are famous for going super fast to do any mitzvah they could. In the first part of the Torah portion, some guests are at the door, some angels, and they run to the tent, enter the tent, and they welcome them. And then, when God is not doing such a great thing in a place called Sodom and Gomorrah, Abraham rushes to argue with God, believe it or not, and say, you probably shouldn't do it that way. And God listens. And at the end, Abraham wakes up super early in the morning to go, to almost sacrifice his son Isaac, but that's another story for another time. And it worked out fine. But he rushed to do the mitzvah. So when mom or dad call you, and you say, no, can't I just play on the tablet for another 5 minutes? No, be like Abraham and Sarah. Rush to set the table. Yeah. Rush to get dressed. Yeah. Rush to get in the car to go to school. Yeah. Abraham and Sarah teach you how in this week's Torah portion.
Awesome.
And that's why you ran in place today. All right.
right.
We are now going to rise for the Aleinu, page 57. Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, latefu alem sereshi, shelo asanu kegoyer haratzon, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chalkeinu kahem, vegor aleinu kehol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, U'mishtachravim u'modim, lifnei melech, malchei hamlachim, Baruch baruchu, she'u notei shamayim ve'yosef haaretz, u'moshev yekaro b'shamayim mima'al, u'shlinatu zo, be'kol pei mineronim, u'Eloheinu, Eino, Emet Malkeinu, Efes Ulato, Kakatu, Betorato, Edam Zion, Me'ashevota, Eleva Mecha, Ki Adonai, Hu Elohim, Bashamayim Mima'al, V'ya'aretz mitachat, Eino, V'ne'emar, V'hayam Adonai, L'melech al kol haaretz, V'yom hahu, Yeh Adonai echad, U'shemo echad. And we may be seated as we lovingly recall the memory of our departed relatives and friends whose yortzites we observe during the coming week, thinking especially tonight of Bill Glaglovsky, Yehuda Breslov, Lillian Davidson, Nathan Engelberg, Julius Goldberg, Arthur Gurovich, Bertha Jaime, Herschel Hertzman, Frida Levine Jacobs, Rabbi David Jessel, Pablo Macias, Sadok Masliach, David Migdal, Sarah Morovsky, Benjamin Mutnick, Anna Ramick, Bertha Rosenblatt, Isidore Scheinberg, Meyer Schulak, Marvin Spielman, Jeanette Goad Taylor, Richard Tim Vanek, George Wasserman, Dorothy Wood. We are in the Shloshim, the 30-day mourning period for Misha Nudler, Theodore Goldstein, Miriam Schneiderman, Robert Warwick, and Amiram Ur. We're actually in the Shiva for Amiram Ur, the father of Gideon Ur. The memories of all who are with us. We ask all those who are in mourning or observing yortzeit, as well as anyone else who would choose to do so, to rise for the mourner's Kaddish at this time. It's on page 67. Yit Gadal v'Yit Shemei Rabbah v'Almad Yivrach Yerutei v'Amlich Malchutei v'Chayechon v'Yomechon v'Yedechol Beit Yisrael v'Galav V'Zman Kariv v'Imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevorach le'olam v'Olmei Almaya Yitbarach v'Yishtabach v'Yitpa'ar v'Yitromam v'Yitnaseh v'Yitadar v'Yitaleh v'Yitalal Shmei Kudsha Barichu La'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran v'alma v'imru.
Amen.
Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Osei shalom v'imrumav huya asei shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Zichronam livracha. May the memory of the people you've come to say Kaddish for be a blessing to you always. Let us say Amen. All right, so a few announcements. Immediately after a closing song, we will go to two different places. All right, so into the social hall will go the first and second graders and their families for a potluck dinner, and Susan will lead a kiddush there as well, and perhaps a blessing of the children.
Okay.
Or maybe I'll do that now somehow. Okay, and then for those who are not part of the first and second grade Share Shabbat, we'll be in the foyer where there's not just challah, but there's some cookies and coffee that Jessica. Yeah, of course, that Jessica Sarber has set up in honor of her father's Yorkshire. So may his memory be a blessing. And so that's for those who are not part of the Share Shabbat. Tomorrow's services are at 9:30. There's a guest speaker, author Ruby Namdar, who will be not actually speaking about his book, he'll be speaking about the Parsha. He is from New York, although born in Israel, and at least one of our members says, like, that novel, which is called, I'm forgetting its name, but it's something about a house. I read it, but it's very New Yorky novel, but she said that had led her to rediscover her Judaism. Anyway, come, that's tomorrow, and it's a good chance to remind you all that every Saturday we have free childcare. Like, you don't even have to sign up, you can just come. And every Saturday we have free lunch, and you don't have to sign up, you can just come. So it's such a deal. All right, and I think that's probably enough for now. Actually, so kids, go find your moms or dads, and I'm going to have you do the blessing of the children before we do a closing song. Thank you to Peter Miller for greeting. All right, we say the following: Yisimcha Elohim ke'Ephraim v'chi Menashe, Yisimech Elohim ke'Sara Rivka Rachel v'Leah. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Yer Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha. May God's face shine upon you, be gracious unto you. Yisad Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God lift the divine face toward you and grant you peace. Amen. All right. Come on back up. First and second graders. And, we're going to do something that we would, it's just a little fun. Okay, back behind the black thing, otherwise you won't be seen. All right. Not exactly in honor of Janine Sherman, but why not? Who just got back from Israel. Picture of Israel. And they could use our prayers these days. So we're going to do a song about things that happen only in Israel. It's called Rock B'Yisrael. So we're going to put your hands in the air, right? You know it, right? And we're going to say, oh baby, ba 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 ba. Oh baby, ba 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 ba. Ha'am b'miluim, Rock B'Yisrael. Mitnad b'mosim chayim, Rock B'Yisrael. Ha'tapu zachimato, pa-pa-da-pa-da-pa-pa-da-pa-da. Ha'yarkon tamid yarok, Rock B'Yisrael. Oh baby, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Oh baby, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Kibbutz ve'hamoshav, Rock B'Yisrael. Yerushalayim shel zahav, Rock B'Yisrael. Eze yofi shel morah, kol echad u'kinra, Rock B'Yisrael. Oh baby, oh baby, oh baby, ba 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 ba. A big yasher koach to our first and second graders, our alphabet classes. You did such a fine job. But I just have to say, oh baby, ba 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 ba. Shabbat show, baby, ba 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 ba. Shabbat shalom.
Oh baby.